feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, you ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crap from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in feelings. I just need a taste and my mind starts feeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got nothing for change, I just love the feeling. No, I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Anything worth doing is a tough climb. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Anything worth doing is a tough climb. 'Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I don't lie at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I don't lie at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. From the heathens, got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon.
Welcome to another episode of Cap Space Jam. I'm not even gonna really say much. I mean, I always get on here and give like some cliche intro, like, "Oh man, it's been 2 weeks. Here we go." But no, we have a special guest, and I believe he's ready to be brought on. In fact, let me bring him on first. What's up, Zach? What's up? One of the
what up?
I think you're.
What up? You like? I'm declaring it already. You see my name?
You could take this season, but you see my name, right? Look, I gotta say, look, this show, I think last week, or 2 weeks ago, I called it the Brad Show. But this show is gonna be the Zach Show for a lot of reasons. This show was not going to happen right now. I promise you. I was like, look, I'm gonna get on there, record a segment with you or whatever, talk about what I'll mention later. But he's like, yo, I'm ready to do a full show. And I'm like, shoot, okay. So not only did Zach have me do a show, I actually took 10 minutes to prepare for once, which I normally don't do. And like, he's the content. So this is the Zach Show. Welcome, Zach.
Man, let's get this show on the road. I'm excited. It's gonna be a good time. I'm enjoying myself right now.
Well, I would say sit back and relax, but don't do that just yet because we're going to look into the matchups. Today is Sunday. It's a perfect day to do it. You guys might be watching this on Monday because I didn't really have time to do much. I'm like, let's get this up, and it's a random time. So I'm going to pull up the matchups. All right. So there's one that clearly stands out from the rest, but I'm not going to get into that one just yet. We're going to spend plenty of time on it. First of all, of course, I don't know. I lost to Dev. And you don't understand. Like, that hurts more than anything else. Like, no offense, Davis. I'd rather lose to your team. I'd rather lose to, like, Brian. Losing to Dev means I'm going to have to hear it from him the next time we get on this show. I always think, like, he doesn't really watch the show or nothing. He's like, hey, I heard what you said about my team the other day. And I'm like, oh, shoot. And now that he beat me, he's definitely going to have his mouth full. I mean, I don't know how much you've been looking at Dev's team. Like, do you have any remarks about him? I mean, he's been middle of the pack, relatively active, more than some on this list, which I'll get to later.
I mean, everybody's just fighting for second at this point.
I feel like we're gonna hear that a lot today. And of course, there's my team. I'll get into more of my team later on about like once we get into some trades that we made. Next down, you talk about second place. Here's the man that is currently the second seed. Of course, David. No real fight from Austin. Austin, this is what he does. But he decides to show up when he wants to. He'll be pretty active during the offseason, I'm sure. But David, that's the guy that I believe you defeated him also, correct?
Oh, yeah, I did. Yes, I did.
He has only 2 losses, one coming to you and the other one coming to a man that we'll talk about in a little while. So, and then moving forward, of course, we got Logan. I'm not going to say his team too. And Chris. Chris pisses me off. Okay. We'll get into more of him later, but I really want to say I acquired his first round draft pick, and like all season, he was like 17th, no wins, no nothing. He was like not active. It was really more because of Brian and stuff. Now he decides to start making moves and put these things together. Now he's 15th. How am I going to get Victor Wembanyama with the 15th pick? Like
you're gonna have to trade with him again.
I might have to, and yeah, he's the guy to go for the picks. Nice foreshadowing for later. And of course, Logan, much like Dev, middle of the pack, active enough.
Mm-hmm.
He's there. And then we have John. John started off a lot stronger early on. He's been having some tough matchups though, but he has been active too, so I can't say anything. He's 11-6. I mean, there's another person on here that's 11-6 currently at the time of this recording, who's doing pretty well for himself. So we'll see what John does. Zach, you could say it. What's the team's name there? Who's Tim?
Hey, this is you, man.
I'm so hardened right now in Tim's team. Hey, I gotta say, he stepped in. He's been active, and he's been having some things going on in his personal life. Which, if he wants to get on here and talk about it, I'll let him. But I respect to him for showing up. We're gonna skip the next one that's on this list for now. We're gonna go over to Gary and Mr. SPB, the Sports Plays blog. Another guy that's been pretty dominant all year. Is he the top team in the league? No, but he's been very consistent. Next to Gary, who surprised me. Gary never did any fantasy basketball or anything like that. I forced him to join the league, basically. I was like, look, you got no choice. You're joining. And he's 10-6. He's 10-6, and he's going to lose this matchup, but at least he's in there. He's in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Greek in the sheets, your man, just like your man, Giannis Antetokounmpo, you know what I'm saying? Brian and Martin, a tale of two, who hit start active, basically won this week, if either of them did. But Brian's going to he's going to pick up the win today. Martin is starting to get a little more active. He's just getting acclimated to the league and stuff, and the season's a wash, so we'll see what he does next year. Next year. And then we got Ronnie. Ronnie shocked me, dude. I really thought Ronnie would be like the top player in the league. Like I thought at least top 2, top 3. Of course, he ran into some injuries, and he's hasn't quite worked out that way. But unfortunately, he's still first in my division with him, and he's going to be in the playoffs more than likely. Unless I could win 2 in a row and he could also lose 2 in a row. But I think he also has a tiebreaker. So, yeah, my season's pretty much over. So, yeah, that's
What's
it.
that like?
Hey, should we move on to the next topic? Or
what's it like your season being over? That must suck.
It must suck. But, we'll get into the trades. I'm optimistic of the future. You see my name, 2024 Cap Space Jam champion. You heard it here first. I mean, my team's looking good. It's just that, too little, too late, and it's a lot of development and process. But I did say, look, we're going to skip one, but no, we got to go back to it, right? The Undertaker streak has been conquered by Zach Carlson. That was so cringe. Keep it in.
Should have said Brock Lesnar, but okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say it. I'm like, yeah, that's a little too cliche, but I should have done that originally. This one's gonna get the special treatment. We're gonna click this. Yeah, let's see. So Brad has finally been knocked down. He went 17-0, beat tough teams along the way. I think he beat us all right before he,
What, mind you, he beat me in like week 1 or 2.
It's interesting you say that because week 1 or 2, you had a much different looking team. It was more like in fact, I have your team from week 1 now. You have like I have your core basically minus Tyrese Halliburton. So we're moving down here, of course. I'm gonna let you break down your team, but I'll just really quickly, because DeAndre Ayton, the same guys he's had. He actually picked up Porzingis. I don't know if I included that in the trade list essentially, but we'll talk about that in a little while. Also, he still has some wild cards: Kevin Durant, Draymond Green. He still has a pretty good team moving forward. But what happened this week, Zach?
I mean, I think I showed. I think, and we'll talk about my trades, but my team is just, especially now, loaded. I mean, you look at, I got it after this week. I have to decide who I'm going to put in my lineup every week. Like that. That's the problem I have right now.
Yeah.
I got like a guard. I got like Fox, Booker, Levine, Halliburton. Like who? Like I can't even remember everybody I have at this point.
Yeah, Miles Turner is not a scrub either.
Miles Turner, Julius Randle. Like that's what I'm so happy that Booker and Levine have forward eligibility. Yeah. That is major. That is a major piece of this. Like it's just like I don't even know. That's number one. Yeah. And I'm still. You gotta think. I almost put up 1,700 points this week.
Yeah.
And yeah. I'm still not 100%. Wiggins has been out, and who fucking knows when Wiggins is gonna come back.
Yeah.
And I'm still. I can't remember last time Devin Vassell played a game of basketball. It's been a while. But even then, like at this point, like you look at my team, I don't need them. I don't need either one of them.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's a beauty to look at.
So what made you, because early on, especially when we were drafting, you were like more conservative. You weren't really you were seeking like the long-term build. And you still have a pretty good team moving forward, but you just said, you know what, forget the future. I'm going to win this year. Was it me like constantly praising Brad's team? Or was it like you just saw an opportunity and you're like, you know what, I can actually put something together here?
I decided to fool everybody, okay? I'll be the first to admit this was my plan from the beginning. I honestly was, I'm not going to lie, I had no intention of ever trading Halliburton in the end.
You're sabotaging trade talk.
I didn't want people to know what I was doing out the gate.
Yeah.
Because you saw, even when it came to the draft, I didn't spend any money until like the second to last pick when I picked up have De'Aaron Fox on the books. And then I went and this is just, I mean, we'll see. Assuming we all know assuming the inevitable happens and I win the championship this year. I mean, this might be my window. Just we don't need to look at my cap situation in a couple of years. That's not important. That we don't need to talk about that. But we'll see. I mean, me and Chris will be discussing in the off season how much of he's gonna pick up some of Levine's contract next season. We'll see how much he picks up there. But I mean, that is this year's looking good. Even next season, if I decide to, I could probably either trade or move on from a guy or two, but I still should be in the title picture next season as well, just based on the amount of depth I have.
Yeah.
So this is really, for me, I viewed this as a 2-year window. This year and next year, I'm gonna be in contention to win the championship.
I mean, I hate to give you any more praise because you really don't need it. You got enough. This is already the Zach show. I don't want to throw any more praise at you, especially all the clowning you do on my Knicks. But I gotta give you something real quick. It's definitely longer than a 2-year window. Look, I mean, under contract through 2024, you still have Devin Booker. Tyrese Halliburton is still under team control. I mean, you may move, who knows what your team's going to look like. Jabari Smith is still there. He's going to only ascend. Devin Vassell, we'll see what he does. Cole Anthony, I'm not going to sleep on him either. Isaiah Stewart is who he is. Miles Turner, he's there, and that's a pretty good contract right there, $19 million.
That's a very good. You look at next season. You got to think, I'm only going to be losing one guy to free agency.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's why it's and it's not like you're losing anybody. You could just put a scrub there,
Exactly. So it's and then with the cap set to increase.
Yeah.
Combine that with the fact that Chris could be covering some of Levine's salary for next season.
Yeah.
I definitely have a 2-year window.
Yes.
Which means your headline there, you're gonna. I don't know if you deserve that, but because this team that I have built right now is gonna be right there next year as well.
Hey, it's gonna be right there. I'll get to my team in a little bit, but yeah, I do want to mention, like Zach said, of course, the cap increase will go up based off the percentage of the league. So simple math, it goes up by 15%. So will we. So yeah, you're definitely gonna have some room, and we'll see what Chris covers. But yeah, you have a team locked in pretty much. You're not gonna have to do much maintenance with this team moving forward, and you're still gonna have wild cards, even though we'll get to the trades a little bit. You did trade some, but you'll still have some wild cards to choose from. So
you gotta think. You think even think about my wild cards. If you look at my wild cards right now,
yeah,
those wild cards aren't really Middleton's been decent since he's came back, but you look at all my wild cards, they're not really playing much of a factor in my success right now. Because Middleton's just getting back. He probably won't be a really good player till closer to the playoffs when the fantasy season's almost over. Is when he'll start being the old Chris Middleton. Wiggins, I don't know. And then LeVert, Gordon, Nance, they're all just depth pieces. So I'm doing this, and that was my thought process with the trades. I'm doing this season without really much from my wild card position. So I could just run it back next season.
Yeah.
I use the wild card as pieces as depth, and then go from there.
So you mentioned the trade. So let's get into the one that I believe you were referring to. Definitely the big one, right?
I have two big ones, but
but one in particular, maybe big for me because I had to do a whole bunch of moving. I had to literally I gotta still readjust the doc for this. But recently, of course, you mentioned Zach LaVine. You just acquired him. And you sent, of course, your 4th wildcard pick to Chris for I'm sorry. Yeah. Did I say that right? Yes. And then Chris sends back to you, Brooke Lopez, 2025 first-round pick, 2023 second-round pick, 2024 second-round pick. I don't know why I wrote this like this.
There's a lot.
And first wildcard pick in 2024. So you definitely took out a mortgage from the house to get that trade done. But you didn't get the trade done, and I'll be honest, I feel like you had to in a way. You didn't necessarily have to, but
I didn't have to. I did this week. I had Levine today.
Yeah.
But I did this. I put almost 1,700 points without Levine.
Yeah.
And I just added Levine because I could.
Yeah,
I didn't.
He was there. He was there to take. But just moving forward to really cement yourself as a super team, where like top to bottom, I can't really see a major weakness.
There's no weakness. There is literally no weakness.
So, exactly. I feel like that just kind of closed the gap a little bit for that. So that was a big trade, and we'll look at Chris's pick stash later. He deserves some praise too, because he took a team that was literally dead in the water for. I mean, he's to blame for it too, but Brian did some work on his team and literally traded his future, but he, brought it back. But of course, he also made another trade, as you mentioned. He actually made, that was it. You made one more trade. You had traded Mikal Bridges and your 2 first-round picks also to Chris for my man. Well, not really my man. I got to claim him because he's on my team, but, we have a love-hate relationship. Of course, Julius Randle.
Mm-hmm.
All that you talk about the Knicks, and you go ahead and acquire Julius Randle.
I did. I acquired their best player. And you look at it, that is for how Randle's been performing this season, that is a very reasonable and sensible contract too.
Oh yeah, you felt
that's that contract, and even De'Aaron Fox, I think his contract as well is.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Now, I'm glad we'll see what my team. That 2024-2025 season is going to be interesting. We'll see. We'll see what I do there, because I'm still even with the cap increases, I'll still be negative in that year. With with only like 8 spots, but that's for me when banners live forever. And I honestly I'd be shocked if I didn't go back to back.
That's that's what you're doing this for. You gotta, if you're gonna trade away your future, basically in terms of like assets and stuff, you definitely gotta get it done, Zach. You can't. Like, this is the because I'm not in the playoffs, so I don't care. This is your time. This is your moment. You gotta close the deal. You can't.
I've beaten the past 3 weeks. I've beaten the top 2 seeds.
Brad made one comment that stood out. I wasn't really paying attention, but I did see one comment. He said, "Hey, I'd rather you beat me now than the finals." So you got to do it again. You got to do it again.
I did. I wouldn't say demolish. I only beat him by like 200 and something points, but.
Yeah.
Which is still like a lot, but I crushed. Damn, yeah. I did hit 17. All right, did hit 1700. I hit 1704. But I did this without Zach LaVine, and you add Zach LaVine to a situation, which I believe he's a top 20 or 25 player on the season.
Yeah,
fantasy point wise.
See, he scares me long term because of his play style, but definitely this.
It's not like I made these moves to win this year and next year. So
yeah, for sure. And look, one thing I've been saying about Brad's team, as much praise as I did give him, he also has to get it done, because a lot of his success has been predicated off those wild card picks. Like his team is solid, which is one of the reasons why I really didn't see him as a major threat like early on. But it's those wild card picks that he got that's really like closed him, because I didn't see Brad as a threat. It was like Ronnie called it early on, and I believe David might have, but I didn't really see it. There's depth there, but if you look at his team just as is, of course SGA is great, and it's not a bad team. But those wild cards really do it for him. So he needs to get it done this year too.
That's the difference between my team and his team, I will say.
Even back then, I was like, I don't know if it's enough to win, but moving forward,
I mean, he has the players, like he has solid players, like you said, but his team is built on the strength of his wild cards.
Yeah.
My team, I'm getting Middleton's, but like I said, Middleton's been solid and he still contributed for me. But my team success has almost nothing to do with my wild cards.
Yeah. No, that's why I always said, even when I did have Brad favorited over your team, I did say moving forward you were in the best shape. But now you flip the switch. You might have both this one and moving forward. We'll see. And let's see while we're here. All right, I gotta explain about my team because I did put two guys before.
Randall's is a top. Randall's a top 5 player this season. I just want to say I love Julius Randle.
Hell yeah, he is. I'll accept any Nick praise from you.
It'd be better if he left. He'd be better if he left New York. But
oh yeah, like how great he did with the Lakers and the Pelicans, huh? Yeah, like those years. So I gotta say, I'm happy with my team too, especially this week. Look, I took chances early on when I was drafting. I drafted a guy like Mark Williams, okay, who I was hoping a spot would clear up. I was hoping that eventually a man that I have on my wildcard slot that you should try to acquire, Mason Plumlee, I was hoping he would get traded, and he did. And Mark Williams had a breakout performance the other night. He scored 52 fantasy points, and his contract moving forward, if he could just maintain – hey, I'll take 30 a day from him. But if he could throw in a 50 piece every day then for the money that I'm paying him, only $3 million. Well, I'm paying him as if
I don't. Fox can stop now. I mean, he already has. Fox he has 40 fantasy points, and they're only in the third quarter. Yeah. Let's go, Fox.
Fox is a freak. He's a speed demon. He's all of that shit. And then of course Jaden Hardy. I still hold hope out for that guy, but of course Kyrie's there now. He had a couple of nice performances a couple of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. But let's get into the real names. Of course, Jaden Ivey, a guy I acquired from you for Mr. Devin Booker. And as you can see, I'm still paying for Booker. So I paid a price to get Jaden Ivey and Vincero. But RJ Barrett, he's been up and down all year. I'm telling you, like this is more of a take for D takes from 3. But when I watch these games, it feels like Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson do not want to play with RJ Barrett. Like they, RJ Barrett most of the time is sitting in the corner, which is typical, but then he gets the ball. He tries to do what he can. It reminds me of how Westbrook was fitting with LeBron and AD when they first started. Mm-hmm. It was like stop and go. It wasn't really like he had a place on the team. I'm hoping that changes moving forward. Xavier Tillman's been putting up some numbers. Robert Williams hasn't really had a chance to do much. I'm hoping next year he can.
Ooh, get to crush someone.
In trade.
I'm looking ahead to my match. I get to crush some hearts. I have the 8th place team coming up. I have the 9th place team coming up.
Oh man,
I'm gonna get to ruin some lives on the way to the top.
Hey, we'll see. We'll see what you do. Let's see where you end up at the end. Oh, also, I also want to talk about the other trades too. Of course, you know what? Yeah, since Brad also did make a move, it was a smaller move, but I did want to say he also acquired Kenrick Williams and Dennis Schroeder for O'Shea Brissett and Otto Porter for $20 bidding money. That's another move he made. It was a different because he was always going for the big guns, so that was like a quick, slap.
It was a nice runner-up move.
It was, yeah, it was. He also acquired, of course, like I said, Kristaps Porzingis. He got a steal there. I think he took advantage of Martin. I think it was $25 bidding money for Porzingis. Not that it's a bad deal for Martin because he wasn't really, he's not competing anyways. He may as well get something. And I'm struggling to trade Norman Powell and Mason Plumlee unless you want to make a live trade right now. They are available.
Are they?
They are available.
I mean, I'm gonna do nothing with Norman Powell. Let's get that out of the way. He'd be like, he'd be near the bottom of my bench at this point.
I mean, hey, he gives you some more. He's a forward and a guard. He gives you some flexibility. And then of course Mason Plumlee is a decent center.
Plumlee, I mean,
he was putting up numbers, especially.
Okay, but I'm locked in with Miles Turner as center.
Yeah.
And then
you got to remember the trade deadline is around the corner, so you need that flexibility depth-wise.
Do I?
See, I'm a salesman. I gotta answer,
do I though?
I mean, you can never have too much depth, not in this league, especially.
I think I'm struggling with that problem now, because here's what I will say.
Yeah.
My only possible downfall is going to be starting the wrong guy.
I can understand that. Yeah.
Because, like the only thing's gonna happen is I'm gonna start, like, my last bench spot is gonna come down to guys like Middleton and even I acquired Jabari Smith, and I love Jabari Smith. When I got him from you, but the problem is, I don't think I'm gonna start him if my team's 100%. I don't think he starts for me.
Because he's still finding himself. So he's gonna have big games, but he also is gonna have those, like, because I experienced that with him and with a lot of the younger guys I have, even Jaden Ivey. They're just starting off at the end of the day. Not everybody's gonna just come out and dominate, but there's signs that he will be good. It's just, of course, he has those off nights, which could really hurt you.
Oh no, Jalen Noel was out. It's over for me.
Oh man! So there goes your championship.
There goes my championship.
Jeez. All right, look. We gotta give somebody some props, okay? Because just 2 weeks ago, I was saying, "Come on, Chris, man, you got." Like, I was on this show. I said, "Come on, Chris, man. Like you gotta do something, man. Make some moves or something, man." Because I just. And he has done that. He's made a lot of moves. He literally has to make me reshape this entire document. You both played a part in that. But of course, roster-wise, there's not much to look at, right? But but
he'll have Bronny. He'll probably end up getting Victor. He
better not get Victor, but he, he has a lot of free agent slots, and I'll do a live edit on. There it goes. Because all these free agent slots, he has, I believe, the most cap space going into next season, $82 million, and that's going to go up. Of course, he's going to eat some more of Zach LaVine, I believe, right? You guys talked about. But either way, he's in a good place right now. He essentially undid a lot of what Brian did to his team early on. So as you can see. So here's my pick stash. I thought I was doing good. I got Chris's first pick for the 2023 draft, hoping that was Victor Wembanyama. Still could be. I'm going to have to make some moves. And I got his first pick for the 2025 draft. I got Gary's second round, David's second round for 24, and Brad's 2025 first. You just have, on the back end, the fourth round pick for 23 and 24. And then, of course, Brian himself acquired some picks. You got Devin there. Then there's Chris.
Man, that's all. He embraced, like, he's gonna be scary in like 3 years.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to say it. It takes that because he has to undo a lot of what was done. So, and he did. He basically hit the reset button on the team. He got Brad 23. These picks probably not going to be much. Neither is yours, like as far as like order wise.
But those stack up.
Yeah, I mean, he has mine, which is going to be middle of the pack. But then next year, he has the 2024 pick for mine. I hope to do well, but I don't know that I'll do well. Zach, yours, right? And then of course he has some wild card picks as well, and I don't think he's done. So he got himself some flexibility, and of course, we have the bidding money, which will be used for free agents. I jumped on that early. I was acquiring as much as I could. A lot of it came from Brian / Chris, But here's Chris. Also, he's building himself back up to 220 after he sent me 50. And you're still at 250. That's another asset.
I am not. People. That's another aspect of it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, my team's obviously backing it up this season, but going forward,
Yeah.
I'm like this is the most underrated part of my team success now.
Mhm.
I'm doing this with just my main roster pretty much.
Yeah.
And if you're talking if I'm able to with free agent wise it's overkill at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, speaking of overkill, that's what I was going for with the 465. Because it's the flexibility. Like, okay, like, I don't know that I'm always going to be able to afford a free agent that's available. But the fact that, hey, I can afford him, he's mine. Like, that's it. Nobody's going to really outbid me.
You can get that's a good way to. Well, it's like, I mean, I don't. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean,
this league is very in depth. I can't take credit.
you have a very good chance at second place next year.
I mean, hey, I'll take second place in the standings. You can have that top seed, but once we get to the finals, you know, I'll be ramped up. I'll have them wild card picks on deck. I'll be going in, you know.
Oh, I'm gonna try to go for. I'm gonna try to do next year what Brad couldn't do this year.
See, I don't think enough really understand the concept of the free agency yet. When everybody sees like how the auctioning like goes down, bidding money is gonna be such a like big commodity, and that's when I'm gonna really like, you know, be in my bag a little bit, you know. So
Free agency is for people with holes in their roster.
yeah, like
I am done.
Yeah, exactly. Shoot, I mean, come to think of it, you don't. I mean, it's a good thing you traded your picks because really, you don't even need your draft picks. Like, what are you gonna really?
I don't need them either. See, so that's the thing. Like,
you really add like.
So I don't really need my bit. Like,
yeah, your off season is gonna be pretty quiet. You're just gonna be like.
It's gonna be pretty boring, honestly. The most excitement is gonna be negotiating with Chris on how much salary he's gonna take LaVine's, but that's pretty much it.
So, and at the end, I have a slot I've been working on. I don't think I have it up here yet, but I'm gonna have like an award section. You know, it's gonna track all like the past champions, maybe like top scorer of all time, like top scoring week of all time. We'll see.
You can just write my name down my name down right now.
We'll see. I gotta create the section for it. I gotta wait. I gotta see from my eyes how the finals plan out. You know, I gotta see. But look, I did say if you were to beat Brad, I would tell you that you were the favorite to win the finals this year. And I'm joking. I'm gonna do that. You are definitely the favorite after this week. You have beaten the top two seeds in David and Brad. You are the favorite going into the playoffs. But you gotta stay there. You gotta stay on top. I think acquiring a guy like Norman Powell.
Yeah, is that? I tell you what, if my season, if I'm down that bad and I acquire Norman Powell, and Norman Powell was what saved me.
Hey, look at his numbers, man. Look at his numbers. I mean, I know Westbrook's in town now, so let me see. I don't know what he did last game. Let me see here. But before Westbrook, he was putting up some numbers. Let's see. Where the heck is he? Okay, here he goes. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, he put up 26 points last game. But prior to that, you know, in the 40s, consistently in the 30s, at least it's just a good piece to have. All right.
Yeah.
So, you see the live.
I'm sure it is.
I'm using my influence literally on show to make.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
This is,
you know, the thing that could work on somebody else that needs depth, but
perhaps.
I mean, hey, you should really hit up Brad for that. Maybe he'll take it. But
unfortunately, he has all like top wild cards. Like,
not only the thing is like understand is like I got the only players that really have locked into Pacific's position right now. Fox and Halliburton are only like major players of mine that are like only guard eligible. So you got guys like you gotta look at LaVine has guard and forward eligibility.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Devin Booker has guard and forward eligibility. So, like that.
We're gonna always have it. Yeah, we're gonna always have it. So yeah, that's why you just need a second center then. Call it
I have Jabari Smith to back up at center.
Who's that? Okay.
And Isaiah Stewart just hangs around.
Oh, come on, man. He's only famous for having the same name as me. And for punching LeBron James.
Oh no, he's a game time decision. What happened?
Yeah, see? I think he was bloodied by LeBron. Yeah, that's what he's known for, man. And having the same name as me. So, looks, I think we covered everything. I don't know about you. I had enough of this Zach show. I'm ready to win some games myself. I mean, I don't care if I win the next two or lose the next two because I don't even have my first round pick anyway.
Your season's pretty, but like, what do you even?
I just look for
your season's consistent of watching others to improve yourself in the off season.
Yeah, I'm gonna get on other people to be active, and then once I get to the free agency period, we'll see. How much cap space do I have? I don't really pay attention. Okay, this off season, I gotta figure something out because I only got $1 million for like 5 free agent slots.
Like you said, you got the cap going up, and
but
that's the thing. Like, I'm glad I put myself in this position, but at the same time, like I'm gonna have the most boring off season out of anybody.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna win the championship, and then I'm just gonna sit around for several months and then
hopefully
run it back.
Hopefully, it doesn't have a championship hangover because you see that a lot. You guys celebrate.
Banner's hang forever. So if I win this year,
yeah,
and
yeah. I mean, you'll also have like like an NBA Finals appearance to go with it next year. That'd be really cool. You have that banner and the championship win going into 2025. Just that you got the one ring and the one appearance. That'd be really cool.
Oh yeah, I mean,
because
we'll see. I mean, the situation's a mess, but in a couple of years. But
I don't know if you caught the underlying.
I did. I don't think. I just don't think that. I mean, I don't think you're a team that. See, here's the thing.
Yeah.
My team has already backed up what it's capable of doing. I've beaten the top 2 seeds in the last 3 weeks. Your team looks good on paper, but it's done nothing yet.
Because it's not complete. We got to get to
next. My team is complete right now, and we're seeing what it's doing right now.
Victor Wembanyama. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Somehow, some way, I'm gonna use my commission and powers. I'm gonna abuse my powers.
You're gonna get him.
Get that dude on my team, and
You know what? There was a very similar player out of last year's draft, Chet Holmgren. What happened to Chet? What happened to Chet Holmgren this year?
Preparing for next season. Okay, he's ready to team up with Victor Wembanyama.
So why would you want to go and try to get Victor only for the same thing to happen to him, and then he's out the entire season?
Listen. What do they say about Zion, even though he's hurt? Like, damn, you just got to take a chance, man. You just got to take a chance, right? Listen, Victor, shooting threes, okay? Like, his floor, if he can stay healthy. That's the same thing for everybody nowadays, if he can stay healthy. His floor is like an average, defender, like an average contributor. His ceiling is next level. Like, you think like Joker, like think Joker with like mixed with Steph Curry, like mixed with a little bit of Kyrie. Like, let's just put them all together, and you got a basketball player if you can stay healthy. I know I think he's up to like 7'5" now.
Mm-hmm.
7'3", like going into.
He's like 7'5", but he's like 190 pounds.
I hope he doesn't get too much taller, because then I'm like a little worried. Like, but
7'5" is just. I mean, we'll see, but like, maybe I pull some things maybe I'm satisfied with one championship. Pull some things in the off season. I have plenty of guys.
Can't happen. Victor is destined. This was like my entire plan. Like when my team started messing up, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm getting Victor. I got, we got those first round picks. Like that's my stance. Like even the leagues I'm doing great in, I made sure to acquire like one of the worst teams draft picks. Like
That's I have so much depth that I can easily decide if I win a championship, flip the switch, and go into a complete rebuild if I want to.
I will tell you this: if I land the first overall pick somehow, you ain't getting Victor, man. It's not happening.
You know what? Maybe, just maybe, assuming I win the championship, I will flip it to get number one just to get Victor so you can't.
I don't like that plan. I really don't. Like, I don't think that's a good plan for your team. I think
it might not be, but we'll see.
A finals appearance against the Empire that is my team. I think that's pretty nice because you'll be the first step into like there's posterizers. Like I said, like with Jason Terry. I was talking to someone that doesn't really understand basketball. I was trying to like just picture like what it is to get posterized. If you looked up Jason Terry dunk, you're not going to see a dunk by Jason Terry. You're going to see him getting posterized and getting teabagged mid-air by LeBron James and stepped over. That's what you're going to see. So not that your team's going to be like your legacy is not going to be that, but every time they look up NBA Finals 2024, they will see your team there. It's just that it'll be outscored by mine. That's the only thing.
Oh yeah. See, you have no evidence to back up your talk right now.
No evidence, but the present of what was done this week. Mark Williams is officially a contributor.
Okay. Mark Williams?
Yeah, Mark Williams is the damn key. He's the key to all of this. Like you got Jeremy. I can't even pronounce his last name. I think it's Sochan, right? I got Jeff.
I really like him actually going forward.
Yeah. You got Jeff Hardy. He's gonna come in there, probably get a DUI and get suspended, but hey, he'll be there.
This is just overkill. I forgot. Jabari Smith still hasn't played. My team just keeps going this week.
Look, you have your shine, right? You have your shine. I gave you Devin Booker. I gave you.
You see, 80. That has to be what. I would love to see what the high this season was for a player who scored a single game.
We got to see that because, you mean for like you're talking about De'Aaron Fox right now?
Yeah, he posted he had 83 fantasy points the other day.
Luka might have him beat. I think Luka had like 100-point game or something, or him or Joker did. Obviously, one of the two, but definitely one of the two. Let me see something.
It's a shame that players like Jokic and Luka are wasted on a team that's not going to win anything.
Luka is in NBA hell right now. He's like that's something to say that you're not good enough to win a championship, but you're not bad enough to like look forward to a top round draft pick. You're just in that middle spot all the time, which is why you see me blow up my team. I don't want to be in NBA hell. I don't want to be like 7th. It's championship or bust. You could be 14th, you could be 3rd. If you don't win the championship, it means nothing.
Yeah.
So
that's why there's just give it to me now. Like you're wasting just wasting everybody's time.
The next look, Brad. I know he's not really the type to get on the show, but your turn to answer back. And he actually listens. He always. Look, your chance to answer back is the NBA Finals. If it is these two that meet, I believe it could be. I don't know how the seeding's gonna. I do know how the seeding's gonna work, but I don't know, who's gonna face who at the moment. But we'll see. That's gonna be a good matchup to see. And you might also face David at some point. That's gonna be another good one. Even though you did beat him already, but it'd be another good game.
Nobody's a threat. I'm not worried about anybody.
Oh yeah.
After this week.
Well, I wouldn't sleep on Ronnie's team. I'm still on Ronnie's team.
I'm pretty sure I have him yet.
Ronnie, Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the team fell apart, but I was high on the. It's not that it fell. Let me see what's Ronnie doing. Let's see what's Ronnie doing real quick, just for heaven's sake. Let's see. And then this is it. This is it.
I have him not next week, but the following week in week 20.
I mean, I would root for you, but I don't think it matters if he loses.
No, I don't expect to lose. I don't expect to lose again until 24-25.
Oh man, expectations and reality are not the same. You know, you gotta remember this. Okay, so CK Cunningham going down kind of hurt. But, you know, he has some guys that came back, right? Because I think, Paul George has been in and out all season. Oh, still got Fred VanVleet hurt. Yeah, man, Ronnie. I'm sorry, man. What's Valanciunas doing? Is he any good anymore? He was, decent for one season, and I knew – I definitely stayed away from him because I knew he would, implode at some point. Yeah, he's not really doing – I mean, it's, middle of the pack. But, yeah, so that's it. I mean, I had enough. I don't really know what else to say. Is there any last, I can give you the floor if you want to throw shots at anybody. Is there anybody?
I think I've done enough throwing shots. Now it's just time for.
I'm kidding.
I'm just saying it's time. It's just time for It's just time for to let the inevitable happen and just everybody has, 24-25 to look forward to.
24-25. All right, pal. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Everybody else but me has 24-25. I'm sorry. Yeah, right? Yeah, 24-25. Yeah, everybody else but me.
Do you really want to get to the finals just to get crushed?
No, that's why I'm not going to get crushed in the finals. That's why we go to the finals and we win. That's how it gets done. You understand? You know why? And I'll have Norman Powell on my team.
Please do.
Yeah, he'll be like the 15th guy on the bench. That's what he'll do. So, all right, man. I'm done, man. I'm done. This is like an hour. Appreciate you coming on the show.
Yep.
I appreciate you setting yourself up for this clip in 2024 around this. Maybe a couple months after this time period on this day. So where I could look back and be like, hey, man, remember we had this conversation?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
We'll be having that conversation with two banners hanging about. Two banners.
You're right. One on mine and one on yours for this year.
Oh, okay. Well, let me know how that worked out for you.
All right. You got it. Take care, man. I'm going to put that intro and we done. No, I mean, yeah. All right.
These tents up that they asking who is that? You seeing what I'm on, but you don't know me like that. So you got a pass, but I'm knowing life is fast.
I can hear the demons call when they do what they do. And now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. Sometimes I feel like all is lost, but I know it's not true.